Hey there, I'm professional psychic Karen Marie, and this is Psyched Up Sundays for August 14th, 2022. So, thank you for tuning in. And for my new subscribers, every week I've been growing my little baby channel, and I value each and every one of you that tune in and watch this. And thank you so much for sharing this video with others because that's the best way for it to spread is you recommending me saying, hey, check this person out. She's really great. I get a lot from her videos. And thank you for the generous donations I got this last week. Oh, bless you, bless you, bless you. I'm about to have some dental surgery, so I could use every extra donation I can get. So grateful. And the sweet notes that came with them also touched my heart. So I'm glad that you guys are appreciating getting a lot out of these. I've heard that you watch these every week and plan your week around them. So that makes me feel really good that I'm putting something of value out there that you value, because that's what it's all about, right? Finding something that resonates. So I'm going to talk about the transits for this week, like I usually do. I thought I would, I did some digging this week into Donald Trump's chart. So I'm going to show you that and some interesting transits as it relates to his chart. Just as a special little bonus there. And then I'm going to do mini readings for all 12 signs. I'll put the timestamps for the piece about Trump and for the individual signs below this video so you can go to the stuff that interests you. Um, and I suggest that you look up your sun sign, your moon sign, your rising sign, or if you have a stellium, which means 3 or more planets in a sign, make sure and check that out. Behind me, you may notice if you watch my videos every week, I've got some new paintings here. These are made by Ryan Troy. I started bedazzling them. I thought they need a little extra sparkle. I hope you don't mind, Ryan. I'm started putting some glitter. So this one I got to starting to put some little sparkle things on. Just I haven't even finished yet. Realized it was going to be too time consuming because I just got these paintings. So yesterday, I think, day before, I've only had them a couple of days. So I thought I put them out. I'm like, oh, it needs a little bit of more sparkle. So I'm bedazzling this amethyst painting that was specially done for me by Ryan Troy. So grateful to that, and just my own little creative spirit just sometimes can't contain herself. So I love to have the stones and crystals around me, as you know. They're little helpers. Like they really help enhance our energy and bring in beautiful qualities. And people ask me about the amethyst, which is here, and what this is a depiction of, which is this beautiful purple stone that helps light up the crown chakra and the third eye. So the crown chakra is our violet colored chakra. For me, that's where I experience when I'm channeling that the information comes in through the top of my head. And so amethysts help enhance the psychic sight, your spiritual, your creative centers, being able to access the divine within yourself and the divine in the realm around you. And so that's what amethyst help really develop the psychic abilities. Kyanite here really helps clear your energy. In fact, this necklace, these earrings are made of kyanite. They help keep my energy clear. Sonia Monique, beautiful work here. You can check out her Instagram, and I'll put contact information for her below. If you're interested in her jewelry, purses, bracelets, all kinds of really fabulous stuff. But yeah, I just love wearing the stones that are beautiful, but they're functional. They help keep my energy feel clear. Kyanite never needs to be cleared. Whereas, like, clear quartz crystals, rose quartz, here's a big chunk of other stones can gather up and collect debris, just like we all can like gather. So the kyanite helps clear the energy. So I highly recommend it. Amethyst is great for developing psychic abilities. Clear quartz crystals are great for keeping your energy clear. So, and I could just go on and on and on about the stones. I won't. Okay, so I'm gonna actually share my screen today as I talk about the transits. Um, I know I was sharing the screen before, and some of you were like, "Yeah, no, I like to just see you." Others, I think, appreciate having a visual. So today I'm gonna do just the visual of um the chart here. I've got the United States of America's chart pulled up in whole signs house system is what I use. So to me, we have the most powerful transit we're having right now in the United States is our Pluto return. So in green around the outside here are the current transits. And I have this pulled up for right now. It says August 15th because over there in Greenwich time, it is just after midnight. So refreshing the screen to now, it's now August 15th over where they keep these records. So, but the chart I use for the America is that we were born on Thursday, the 4th of July, 1776 at 5:10 p.m. in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. They have a time here as well, 2210 hours and 20 minutes. So I guess someone figured out that at some point. So that puts us as Cancer Sun in the 8th house, Sag rising, our moon in Aquarius. So we just had a full moon in Aquarius last Thursday. Did you feel that full moon? This full moon was particularly potent because it was across the skies, as full moons always are from the sun. So the sun was at 19 degrees of Leo, the moon was at 19 degrees of Aquarius. So they were opposing each other. And anytime an opposition between planets happen of any kind, it brings out like a tension. And so that's where there's a tension that'll come out between the sun and the moon. It'll bring something to a head. But also, this is super powerful because this was also, there's a grand cross going on. So we had the sun on one side, the moon over here on the other. Then we had the north node in Uranus over here in Taurus, and we have the south node over here in Scorpio. So we had a grand T cross with the full moon in fixed signs: Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, all fixed signs. Don't like to have change, or like to be the ones to make the change happen themselves. Don't like change being imposed by the outside, that's for sure. So this moon was here in the United States, third house of communication. And today, as I'm recording this, the sun is at 22 degrees. Saturn is at 22 degrees in Aquarius. Actually, the sun just went into 22. So earlier today, this was exact, earlier on Sunday. I'm recording this just after 7 p.m. on Sunday evening in Austin, Texas. So earlier today, we had this exact opposition. We're still feeling it. And I always say we feel transits ahead of time, we feel them afterwards. So just because a transit is exact at a certain time, you can feel it before it hits, you can feel it after. So here is an opposition between the sun in Leo, which is having us be tuned into our inner child, into romance, creativity, our children. These are the themes of Leo, right? So that's kind of happy go lucky, being social. It can make us want to be and do social more. Over here in Aquarius, Aquarius is ruled by Uranus, the great awakener. It's the maverick, sudden unexpected things. Also, Aquarius, the two wavy lines to me is humanity vibing together. So it's interesting to me that United States moon, which represents the people in a country's chart, is here in later degrees of Aquarius, which tells me there's this karmic level of evolution of the people being able to vibe well together. We also have some karma here. South node here represents karma at 6 degrees in Aquarius. So it also would be our karma is here in this first decan, which would be, pointing out others, pointing out being, oh, that person's different than me, that kind of thing of like signaling out things that are different. So we have some karma there. Not only that, we've got Pholus, which is a asteroid. It represents two things. It can be initiating spark, where we get things going, which makes things, it gets things initiated. It's also where we can shoot ourselves in the foot. So if I put these two things together, like we certainly have had some karma around things getting instigated with this karmic piece of Do we all vibe together? Do we all understand to each other? Are we all one, vibing in unity together? So what has been the United States karma? Racism, right? And classism, and um, all kinds of ageism, sexism. So these are all the what's the karma here that we're trying to change. Folas, so it is these karmic like what got the Civil War started was the fight over slaves, whether or not people could own slaves or not. So the karma was initiating factor here. It's also where we've shot ourselves in the foot, right? Where we haven't given women the power, slaves the power, black people the power, foreigners, others, right? This encourages me though, with the moon at 27 degrees, it tells me that our karma from birth is to be evolved when it comes to understanding intuitively that everyone matters, everyone's vibing together. Anyway, so the sun, we had the full moon here, then it crossed over Saturn, went over the United States moon, and here the moon right now is at 1 degree of Aries as I'm recording this, which is exactly where my Mercury is, the planet of communication. So it's a wonderful time for me to be intuitively communicating something. So laying something down for video is perfect energy for me to be doing with the moon exactly conjunct my Mercury. I'm an astrology nerd and I love to follow the details. Okay, so not only did we today have this opposition, let me finish talking about the opposition. I talked about what the sun and Leo could be highlighting. This last decan is about the future. What is the future of our creative vision? What is the future of our dreams and goals for our children? What is the future of our dreams and goals for romance? Like this is, our thoughts could all be around this because where the sun is. Over here in Saturn, Saturn puts the kibosh on things. It puts the stop sign up. It lists no, 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 puts the boundaries up. No, 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 stop. So there could be an ending that you could come to today, or you did come to, or you're coming to this tomorrow, like where you're like, no more. Like Saturn's where we want to put up the boundaries. And since it's in Aquarius, we may want to be setting up boundaries with someone else, or how we balance our time when it comes to others. So there could be like this big, huge aha breakthrough that may have happened today. Also, today we had a trine between Mars. Where's Mars? Mars over here in Taurus. I'm so used to looking at my own chart. Mars in Taurus and Pluto. So regardless of what's going on inside here, for everyone, these outer planets are happening in these signs. Just for everybody, they'll be happening in different houses. But if you're living here in the United States, then where these planets are intersecting could make a difference in how they may show up in our society, right? So Mars has been trining Pluto today. So an exact trine. A trine is a positive connection. Mars is the god of war, and Pluto is death and transformation. So when they square up or have an opposition or conjunction, it can be intensive warring. But when these two are in a trine, it can bring out the best of each planet. Mars is about taking action and putting energy into things. Pluto is about transformation. It's about death too. So it could be the ending of something, but this is not a painful ending. This is like a transformative ending. Well, I guess all deaths really come with rebirths. So this could also then be echoing, putting an end to something. Like, I'm no longer doing that. You maybe have said to yourself, like, no, that's nope, done with that. Or somebody else may have said that with you today. Like, and not only that, we have Uranus and the North Node still conjunct here. Mars was with that party in the last couple of days. It's moving further away from it, but it's still in play. Like there was a triple conjunction that I talked about a couple of videos ago, where these three, Mars, Uranus, and North Node, were all exactly in the same spot in the skies, exactly across from the South Node, where we're releasing karma in Scorpio, the deep dark waters of Scorpio. Taurus is where we value ourselves. Are we valuing ourselves? Are the people in our lives showing us that we are valued? Like, this is one of the main lessons we're all learning as the North Node is in Taurus. Uranus, like I said before, ruler of Aquarius, the great awakener, throws curveballs, sudden, unexpected. You cannot predict what Uranus is going to do. It will throw sudden, unexpected curveballs. And since it's conjunct the North Node, the the curveballs it's throwing right now are affecting everyone on the planet. Like our entire destiny is being redirected and rerouted right now. North Node can be looked at as collective destiny, and South Node can be looked at as what we're collectively releasing, old karmic patterns we're letting go of. Uranus here, the Great Awakener, is helping us wake up to the karmic patterns we're all supposed to be letting go of here with the South Node in Scorpio. But this powerful T square here is still operative, right? Between the sun and Saturn and the North and South Node, and Uranus throwing the Great Awakener. So it can feel like it's intensive times. You could feel like under extreme pressure. The readings I've been doing for clients over the last few weeks, I mean, clients are in major crisis, up against powerful obstacles, things that seem bigger than they are. So if you're experiencing this, you are not alone. It's like we all need an energetic hazmat suit on right now, like to protect us from the powers that are so potent and so powerful. So everyone's getting stirred up. For those people who are on a spiritual path, who are spending time plugging into spirit, which is what Neptune and Pisces have been trying to teach us to do, the moon went over Neptune over the last 24 hours. It was traipsing through Pisces, so it's gone through a couple days of very psychic awareness. It's now going into Aries, where it's highlighting people's unresolved anger issues, is what it'll be. So people be getting more and more pissed off. Plus, right now we're having a Chiron return energy with the United States Chiron. Right now, Chiron is retrograde. It's 16 degrees. United States Chiron is at 20 degrees. They're conjunct. So we're coming back to heal some things that we were incarnated as a country to heal. Right now, Chiron is retrograde, so it'll be next year before it actually is exactly conjunct. Chiron is the wounded healer, where it shows up in a birth chart, is where we have karma left over from past lives. In this case, United States would be the people who formed the United States as karma, that their lineage or the karma of the land itself. This is karma in the fifth house, has to do with children. I've talked about this in previous videos. I think this is, our epidemic of children being sexually abused in homes and by others. I think it's the silent epidemic in this country, and it's been going on. Obviously, it was going on when this country was founded. Of course, we had slaves in the mix, and masters were violating their young slaves as well. So that also has been going on for a long time. I also feel like it's, um, I don't know, with the Chiron return, I expect more of people who have been sexually abusing children, like a ring of predators. It may very well come out to be exposed next year when this is exactly conjunct in the United States. That's just what I'm feeling intuitively. The most powerful thing we're happening right now is Pluto return. Pluto is coming back, has come back to the place in the skies it was when the United States was formed, in Capricorn, in the second house. Okay. So the second house, and Pluto transforms whatever it's going through. So it's been transforming the house of Capricorn. And wherever you have Capricorn in your chart, you'll feel extra emphasis in that area of your chart. For example, for me, I've got Capricorn ruling my fourth house. So I've had lots of transformations in my home. Fourth houses represent your home. Children leaving, children coming in. I have my last two children about to leave my home. I'm going to be living a home alone for the first time. This is a total Pluto in the fourth house kind of thing. Also having power struggles. Pluto is power struggles with authority. Capricorn is authority. It's the top down. It's the 10th house in the astrological wheel. It's the boss. It's the dad. It's the government. It's the old patriarchal rule, is what Pluto and Capricorn I see. Because who was the rulers? Who had the power when the United States was formed? Was white men with money. That's who had the power. Women couldn't vote. Minorities couldn't vote. White men made the decisions, made the power. So this is who was in charge. And so Pluto is like a wrecking ball. Whatever Pluto interacts with, it will transform it. All right. So when we had COVID start down, we had Saturn and Jupiter and Pluto all together in the same spot in the sky. So it was unprecedented shutdown, Saturn locking down boundaries, Jupiter making things bigger, and Pluto transforming everything, putting us in a new paradigm. So that was going on here. But now we've got Pluto in these last degrees, and Pluto will bump up into Aquarius for the first time in March of 2023. Then it'll go back into Capricorn again. We're doing it, it's going to have a tease. So, in these last degrees of Capricorn, beyond the fact that it's come back to where the United States was formed, so we're transforming the power paradigm that this United States was formed in. It is going to be transformed. So the old school paradigm, the good old boys network, the men with the white men with the money and power that have ruled the country, that old paradigm is being knocked down to the ground. Pluto will be moving into a new paradigm, helping us heal this karmic pattern, helping us where everybody matters, the vibe of the people, every people, all people matter. So Pluto moving into Aquarius by 2024, right after the election in 2024, Pluto will be in Aquarius. So my prediction for who's going to be president next time around, it's going to be someone new. Like the Great Awakener is ruled by Aquarius. The power planet is moving into Aquarius. To me, the person in power in 2024 is someone new. I don't think it's going to be Biden or Trump. Like, I think we may have new candidates on both sides running, or if one or the other of them get into office, they won't remain in office because, and I haven't gotten a specific download about the election or anything. I just know what Pluto is doing. And Pluto is moving from this old school paradigm, changing it up, moving into a completely new one. It took over 250 years for Pluto to go all around the chart. It's just done it one time since the United States was formed. Pluto has just made it all around the whole zodiac one time, right? So this is what we're seeing in our lifetime. This next phase of Pluto moving into Aquarius is transforming the power to the people. That's what I know. And so my sense is that person that's going to be in the president's chair in that seat in 2024, going into 2025 and in the coming years, is going to be someone that's a breath of fresh air, someone inventive, someone who thinks outside the box in new ways, not an old school way, right? As the current president and the previous president, to me, have been both examples at opposite ends of the pendulum of the old school paradigm. Let me talk a little bit more about the transits this week, and then I'll dive into Trump's chart and some things I found interesting. Okay, so we're still having the lingering effects of Saturn opposite the sun going into tomorrow on Monday. We're also still feeling the Mars trining the Pluto. Again, transformation. Uranus is all about shaking things up, transforming it. Pluto is all about changing things up, transforming it. It's been transforming the second house in the United States chart. So think about this. So what has changed? I believe it was 2008 is when Pluto went into Capricorn. So think of like the money, how our money and finance has been changed in these times, like our food and how it's been delivered, and like the Uber Eats and all that, and just even food shortages and stuff like that. Our like money, like did we have like Zelle and Cash App and Venmo and PayPal and all that when Pluto, before it came into the second house? No. So it's been transforming things, right? It's going to continue to transform financial things. That's why the markets have been so volatile. One of the reasons. Also because Uranus over here in Taurus rules the second house for everyone. So that's also shaking things up in a volatile way. But Pluto is transforming how we do handle our money and finances here in the United States. That's another thing that's being changed up. And our food, right? So we're seeing food shortages for the first time, right? With COVID brought the first, like, oh, what I like to buy is not on the shelf. So that's going to continue to be transformed. Let me talk about the current transits. Okay, so on Tuesday, we'll have Mercury here in Virgo in a trine with Uranus at 18 degrees. Okay, so Mercury represents our thoughts, our communication. Virgo is one of its home signs. Gemini is the other home sign. So it is at home here in Virgo. It puts extra attention on our thoughts, on our communications with others, on getting things organized, on our health. Mercury has been helping us get clear about how to get organized, how to change up our room, how to, get the details, get our financial records in order, all that kind of stuff. Uranus, sudden unexpected curveballs. It's over here in Taurus, which is ruled by Venus. So there could be some money things happening in a positive way. You could get some information. Also, great conversations in relationships can happen again because the Venus, where I'm pulling in Venus. Venus is the ruler of Taurus. When you have planets in Taurus, Venus has a hand in it. Venus has a hand in Mars right here. And so Mercury is in its home sign here of Virgo. So there's a connection between Mercury in its home sign, a positive connection with Uranus, the great awakener. So there could be really fabulous conversations and surprising money windfalls kind of can come, like might be a good day to play the lottery. Solutions, like getting clear about things, like it's kind of a positive where the universe goes, yes, here's a reward. Your path can be made clear because Mercury is about our thinking and our thoughts and getting clear about direction too. And so Uranus can go and just make things very clear for you, which action that you need to take this week. So that's a positive. Then we have another trine. There's a lovely trines. We love it when we have a week of trines. Venus, which is here, let's see, let me find Venus. Again, I need to orient myself. I'm so used to looking at my own chart. Venus is over here in Leo. And where is Venus at the moment? It's at 3 degrees. So Venus will be going over the north node of the United States this week. But on Thursday, Venus will be in a beautiful trine with Jupiter at 8 degrees. So it'll cross over between now and Thursday. It'll cross over the north node of the United States. So this could be like where people we love get pointed out. Like there could be, it's also money and finances. Venus is also about money and finance. So there can be an extra focus on our money here in the United States. This is the 9th house as well, which is the house of foreign relations, higher power, social, like the sun right here is like our relationships with other nations is important as the sun moves through Leo because it's our connection with other nations. So it's going to cross over this north node. Like one of the things that the United States came here to do was interact with the rest of the world. The 9th house is about foreign travel. Will be a leader. Leos are natural leader for the world, right? So there's a Venus crossing over this. So there could be a kiss. Venus can bring kisses. It's also how we receive energy. So what are we receiving back from the world? I also see Venus can be like a karmic lessons, like bringing back karma to you too. Like if you've been putting out good karma, Venus can bring back really lovely karma. If you've been putting out negative karma, it could bring back a negative situation. But so this will be interesting to see how this plays out. Again, astrology is not predictive. It just kind of shows indications. But Venus will be in a beautiful trine with Jupiter. Jupiter is the most beneficial, best luck planet. The moon will be crossing over Jupiter tonight and to tomorrow. So this could be a really great night, Sunday into money for good luck, just getting inspired. If you have planets in these first degrees of Aries, as I do, I've said my Mercury's here at 1 degree, my sun's here at 5. So the moon will be crossing over that. It's always a kiss when the moon crosses over your natal planets. Jupiter's bringing good luck here in Aries. With the trine to Venus, this can be like lucky in love. It can bring in a positive love into your life, can make relationships flourish and blossom. So if you've been looking for love, you might get insights and dreams about that coming as the moon crosses over that here in the next 24 hours, and the moon will be trining Venus. So there's nice indications in the near future about maybe getting some hits about it, and then maybe Thursday actually experiencing it. Again, you can feel things before and after. On Friday, Mars will be in the very last degree of Taurus before it moves into Gemini. So Mars has not been at home in Taurus. Mars is the ruler of Aries. It's also the old ruler of of Scorpio, it's used to power and punch and it's the planet of war. In Taurus, it's been like it's more moving. It's had to be more methodical and think things through. And so there could be culmination of plans you've been made or things you've been working towards that could culminate by Friday with Mars at the last degree of Aries, something you've been working hard, Taurus, towards, putting a lot of effort towards. Creative projects you've been doing could really come to a fruition here. And then when Mars goes into Gemini on Saturday, we may feel all these options open up because Gemini is the twins and Mars is how we take action. We may feel two different directions we want to go, two different opportunities, two different choices. It's like the sliding door. Did you ever watch the movie with Gwyneth Paltrow, Sliding Doors? Like she gets to a train and this is where the movie splits on one. In one movie, she makes the train, gets on right, gets in, the doors closed right after her. Then there's another scene where she misses it and the train doors close before she gets there. And then the two movies separate out. What the movie takes place that she catches the train, and the movie where she doesn't catch the train, because one small event can really change our lives. So as Mars goes into Gemini, we're going to have lots of choices. So it's United States natal Mars is here. We have lots of choices, don't we, here as citizens? So we have lots of choices of what we can do. We also have Uranus here in the seventh house. This is the house of relationships and connections with others. It's where the United States has the Mars and the Uranus. Sudden unexpected things. Boy, we do throw curveballs to each other in this country and to the people that we interact with. So anyway, Mars going into Gemini next Saturday, lots of choices opening up, buzzy energy, things will get quicker, a lot more energy on social media. Like if we haven't seen the media already going caca, it's really going to be taking off. And then on next Sunday, Mercury enters its shadow period. Da, da, da. This means begin to pay attention to what's going on in your conversations, in your communications with others, because Mercury is going to go retrograde and they're going to start going backwards. It won't go retrograde for a few more weeks. Let's see the exact date. It goes retrograde on September 9th. At 8 degrees of Libra. So we're going all the way up to Libra before it goes retrograde. But starting next Sunday, a week from today, and I'll talk about this again next week, begin to pay attention to what happens in your communications, what your thoughts are, your thoughts with yourself, because it'll begin to show you a preview of coming attractions, what Mercury retrograde is going to be revealing for you. It's going to be a lot about relationships because it's going to be starting in Libra, which is the home of relationships. It's going to be starting in the 11th house here in the United States. Going back into the 10th house was the house of mission. What is our mission on our plan on the planet? What is our role as the United States? What's important? Justice and fairness is also Libra. So with Mercury going up here and then going backwards, so there can be like a lot of trial activity going on in the United States. We already know there was some of that, which brings me to let me change and bring up Trump's chart. Hopefully you can still see this. I'm going to actually stop the share for a minute, go back and reshare just to make sure that you can see the correct chart here, which is Donald Trump's chart. Now, what I did, I went back and I looked at, so I have his birthday, just FYI, that he was born on Friday, the 14th of June in 1946 at 10:54 a.m. in Queens, New York. So, I went back and did a chart. This is the transits for August 8th, which is when he was a search warrant was delivered at his house. I also went back to the 5th, which is when the search warrant would have been granted by the judge, because that would be the day that would be most impactful for him. So I've gone back and looked at those dates and I have the 8th pulled up. So and this is the extra special thing I did here. I went in, and you can go in and plug in asteroids. There are hundreds of thousands of asteroids and 20,000 of which have been named. So I went to go see if there was an asteroid named Merrick, and there was. And I pulled it up into Donald Trump's chart. So Merrick shows up in his natal chart here at 12 degrees, conjunct his Pluto, which I've just been talking about is death and transformation. And Trump has Pluto, as I look at it, as a whole signs chart. Not every house system will have it in his first house. Some house systems will have Pluto in his 12th house. This is the hidden and the secret inner world. The 12th house is. First house is what you show the world. So, I mean, there has been transformation that has been part of what he's brought to the world, no doubt about it. And his rising sign is here at 29 degrees, the very last degree of Leo. And Leo loves to be on the stage. So this is it. This is the 29-degree point is a testing point. Did you learn the lessons of the sign of Leo, right? His Mars is here in Leo too. Loves to do things that are out on the world stage. That's what this, 29-degree, there's a mastery level of this on one level of being 29s. It's a test. Like, were you a good steward of when you were in front of the whole world stage would be the question that his life would be here to at 29, because 29 is not, it's a show of mastery. It's also a show of where you can be tested. Like when people have 29-degree points, they're going to be tested over and over and over again. His rising is at 29 degrees of Leo. So he has been tested his entire life, whether we've seen that or not. That has gone down. So I pulled up the asteroid Merrick in his birth chart. It's at 12 degrees, which is conjunct his Pluto, which would mean that Merrick, someone named Merrick, is going to come in transforming his life in a major way in which he shows up in the world. All right. On the day that the search warrants were asked, when the judge granted it on the 5th of August, Merrick was exactly conjunct Donald Trump's sun at 22 degrees. This asteroid Merrick, the transiting asteroid, this is where it shows up in his birth chart. The asteroid Merrick showed up exactly conjunct his sun at 22 degrees. Not only that, the sun was at 12 degrees of Leo, exactly conjunct the asteroid Merrick. Interesting? Coincidental? I don't know. Here's the other very interesting thing. On the day that the search, and then the 8th, they're still conjunct. They're not exact. But on the 5th, when the warrant was granted by the judge, the Merrick was exactly conjunct his sun, and the sun was exactly conjunct Merrick. Really interesting astrology, right? On the 8th, when they actually delivered the search warrant to his place, Venus was exactly conjunct Venus at 25 degrees. So this is Venus's love, its relationships. It's also our money and finances. Anytime a planet comes back around to its where it is in its home sign, where it is in Donald's birth chart here, it's a checking in point. How have you been doing in your relationships? How have you been doing when it comes to money and finance? And again, I see Donald's Venus in his 12th house, also his Saturn, also his Mercury here. 12th house is the house of the hidden, the secret, the deep conscious, the unconscious, the subconscious, the past lives. Liking to do things on the down low, conversations on the down low, relationships on the down low, money and finances on the down low. Saturn, even how he structures his whole life on the down low. I say that because of this being the 12th house, not because my political opinions of him. This is just my psychic take on his chart and some interesting astrological data, right? Venus conjunct Venus on the day that that search warrant was when they showed up at his house in Mar-a-Lago on the 8th. Super interesting to me. And here's Pluto. It's at 26 degrees conjunct his Pholus. Remember, I talked in the United States chart where Pholus is conjunct the South Node. It can be an initiating spark. It can be where we shoot ourselves in the foot. So this is in his house, 6th house, his house of service to others. It's daily work. It's also health. So where does he shoot himself in the foot? Where does he initiate things? Both happens. Like every planet, every sign has a positive and negatives, is with this Pholus. Like he has initiated great things in his work. It's also where he shot himself in the foot. Like you can just look up how many times he's had to file bankruptcy or his failed businesses. So he's had successes and failures, both. He's shot himself in the foot when it comes to health, daily life. I think he shot himself in the foot when it comes to his health, like what he's eating, how he's taking care of his body. It's been real hush hush. He's real hush hush with all these, planets in Cancer in the 12th house. He keeps a lot of things close to the vest about his personal stuff. Mercury and Venus is personal stuff. Um, so Pholus here, again, Pluto's here, death and transformation. It's gone over his Pholus. So it's highlighting, transforming, initiating his house of what are you doing for work? What are you doing for your service? How are you taking care of your health? Right. So he's already had, when he had COVID, he had Pluto conjunct Pholus, and so here this is being activated. It's 26, it's 2 degrees off. It's still, in play here of an activation of how he set causes when it comes to work, his businesses, right? And where he shot himself in the foot. Pluto is transforming that reality for him. And then he's got Uranus, that North Node, Mars conjunction in his 10th house. This is the house of mission on the planet. This is where his Taurus is. His midheaven, which is about mission in the on the planet, is here in Taurus. Taurus is a great manifester, so I'll give him that. He has been able to manifest well. But this conjunct his midheaven, this great awakening conjunct his midheaven. It happened at 18 degrees, at 24 degrees. It's a loose conjunction, 6 degrees off, still in play. And now we've had Mars move over his midheaven recently, activating it. It's been activated by Uranus, the great awakener. Let's change things up. Wherever Uranus is transiting your house, you are having things changed up, right? So he has had his life changed up. The mission that he was planning, sudden unexpected changes. Like he was planning on being president again. Uranus here in the 10th house is like, nope, dude, we have other things planned for you. Sudden unexpected things. I called the election back before when I looked at Biden's chart and I looked at Trump's chart, and this in his 10th house made me think, whatever he's planning, Uranus is kind of ensure that it's going to go against what he's planning right now, because this is like taking over, and Uranus has the upper hand. So it's not going to according to his plans right now. It's going according to destiny right now. So I just find that super interesting. His sun is at 22 degrees in Gemini. Again, Gemini is the twins in his 11th house. This is the house of others. He's all about wanting to show up in what he's seen in, this is social media too. Gemini, North Node here, Uranus is sudden unexpected things. Never know what's going to come out of his mouth, right? What he's going to do, what he's going to say. This is his sun conjunct Uranus and the North Node in his 11th house. So just, he's a fireball here. He was born on a full moon or close to it, because the sun here was at 22 degrees. The moon here was at 21 degrees. So it was moving into the full moon conjunct the South Node. I would say he was born on an eclipse full moon. So, so that's super powerful and sort of a destiny portal. When you're born under an eclipse, it is a destiny marking. And then the moon on the 8th, on the day that the stuff was delivered, was going across his South Node, karma, and his moon, intuition, the internal messages you're supposed to be receiving. The moon is our intuition, our emotions. So the moon, transiting moon, was highlighting his emotional internal state. No matter what he was showing on the outside, I guarantee you he was having one of his most emotional days ever when that search warrant was delivered. Internally, it was probably super intensive for him. So anyway, I'm going to stop sharing enough about Trump. But don't you find that interesting? So asteroids are fascinating, and I've just begun to scratch the surface with asteroids. There's so much to learn about astrology. And so one of the reasons I wanted to show the visual is because it's hard to take in. Not that the visual was helpful at all. Hopefully it brought things to light for you in a way maybe that it you don't have brought to light generally. So let me just make sure there's not anything else I have to say. The sudden unexpected surprises with Uranus in the mix is just been continues to be this theme. Leo's also our heart. And so with the sun moving through this last decan of Leo this week, it's really about following your heart. What do you love? What does your inner child do for love, for joy? Like being able to like tap into what's positive, what's good about your life in the world. It's easy to get over focused on media stuff right now, especially with Mercury and Virgo, like just to be too oversaturated with it. That's why I had to take it and look for some things myself because there's, out there on the media, there is like two completely different stories you're hearing, and even more like about what's going down in this last week. So I had to look for it, look at it myself, see what my own interpretation, just look at it at a super, looking at it, just what I see jumping out at me, like I would anybody else's chart. I was looking at what jumps out at me. I point out the positives. I point out the things that look challenging, that look difficult. So yeah, some beautiful trines this week. So that's really lovely. Again, we have the trine with Mars and Pluto today until tomorrow, the trine with Mercury and Uranus on Tuesday, a trine with Venus and Jupiter on Thursday. We have Mars moving into Gemini next Saturday. So that's kind of the overlay for the week. I feel like that's enough about transits. So now we'll go on and we'll take a swig here of my sparkling water. We'll go on to doing mini readings for all 12 signs. We'll start with the Aries, see what the Aries need to know for this week. I invite you to breathe along with me as I shuffle. All right, we've got the possibilities card showing up for the Aries. So this is the card that says anything's possible, right? What do you want? Like be open, period. Put a period in it. Like be open in the realm of your relationships, be open in the realm of your finance, be open in the realm of health, jobs, careers, like anything is possible. Travel. This card can often indicate travel, right? You see this journey here. There's these mountains. There's the sun coming up. I think it's a rising sun because we see stars here. So it looks like there's been stars and then the sun's coming out. So it's kind of like darkness turning to light too. Like there's like the light coming out, information coming out that you need to see. There's also this eagle that's flying above, which is like showing you perspective, like getting out of whatever you might be stuck in and being able to see from a bigger, higher perspective, being able to look at your situation like on a timeline, whatever you're going through right now, whatever you're up against, whatever you're planning, whatever the future that you have no idea because nobody knows the future, not even psychics. We can get prophetic visions, but the future is not set in concrete. The future is determined by what we're doing today, right? The causes that we're setting today. So do you have a goal, a vision for what you want for your future? Do you have a goal and vision for what you want for relationships, for your career, for what you want for retirement, what you want for what, fill in the blank, What this card is saying, open up to all potentialities, all possibilities, like that there's a higher order of things that are willing to work with you. If you're looking at your timeline right now, some point a year from now, 10 years from now, this is going to be history. If you're going through a difficult time right now, know that you've made it through 100% of the most difficult times that you've had in the past. You've been up against obstacles in the past, Aries, that you didn't know how you were going to overcome, and you have overcome 100% of them. This, if you're facing challenges, is no different. You will overcome this. It is about engaging your higher self, engaging higher power, letting information download instead of trying to figure it out. This eagle looking from a higher perspective, this is about getting out of your brain, your mind, and seeing from a higher perspective, one beyond your limited ego can see. Like your higher self, the divine, your spirit guides can see you're going to be okay. You're going to be protected. Things are going to work out. They may not feel good as you're moving through it. It may be anxiety ridden. You may be having all kinds of emotions and feelings coming up around it. Do not be deterred. Aries are optimists at heart. Get into your optimism, your joy, your excitement about possibilities, about the sun coming out, about new things being revealed, about solutions showing up, problems being solved. This just feels like really positive. And for those of you that aren't up against an obstacle right now, maybe you're just planning a vacation, or you're wanting to build an addition on your house, or you're wanting to pick up at that instrument you never learned to play, or that you played for two minutes when you were 10 and you want to play again. Like, this is about expanding your potentiality of what you think is possible too. Like, don't limit yourself. You're not too old. It's not too late. You're not too fat. You're not too big. You're not too old. Like, all of that. Like, it, this is about erase all that negative programming and opening up to divine potentialities, divine possibilities, and sitting back. It's like seeing like a light show where you see like shooting stars. Like, to me, I get this eagle can be like messenger, like big loud messages coming in, the universe showing you, I got you. Like, see, I'm dropping your care package here right at your feet, kind of thing. That's what I'm getting with the Aries. It feels like an exciting week, and it feels like one to just really grow. This can be a week full of really great growth for the Aries. And I'll stop at that. We'll go on to the Tauruses. I'm going to invite you to breathe deeply with me as I shuffle and see what the Tauruses need to know for this week. The no thingness card. This is a blank canvas, a clean slate, a new beginning. This is the card that comes up for a lot of my artist clients. It's time to write the book. It's time to paint the painting. It's time to write the song. It's time to write the play. It's time to begin something new, begin the production. It's time to start a new relationship, start a new job, move to a new place, clear out your closets, start a new food, health, diet regime. Like, this is the new blank, clean slate, new begin. This is the no thingness card. Nothing. Don't let anything that's gone down, no thing that's happened before, block or stop you from what you want to manifest now. What do you want to create? What do you want to manifest? What you can still make it happen. This is saying there's still something that hasn't even started yet. There's something that you're supposed to be achieving that has not even begun. If it's begun in your mind, that's great. But how do you make it real? How do you get it on the canvas? How do you get it on the page? How do you get it up and running in some way, shape, form, or fashion? So this is about starting something new, a new beginning, and that you don't have to be worried about what has gone down before. This is about be here now too, right? Like, whatever has happened before now, over, done, can't change it. 2 seconds ago is history, like much less 2 days ago, 2 decades ago, 2 lifetimes ago. All done, can't change it. No, I mean, we often can have a benefit in going back over and looking at what's happened. But if you find yourself replaying it over and over and over again and marinate it in something that's happened in the past, pull yourself into now. This is the point of power, right here, right now. Right now, what we paint right now, determines what our future is going to be. So you're worried about the future, pull yourself to right now. What can I do today to give myself the best future? Like health wise, like if you want to literally worried about your death or your health, what can you do today to improve your health? You're worried about your long-term relationship. What can you do today to sustain and nourish your relationship? Your relationship with yourself primarily, because your environment's always a reflection of yourself. So if you're nurturing yourself, the environment is going to be reflecting that back to you, right? And so care for self, new things, like go ahead and start it. Whatever that project is you haven't done yet, the big thing, I feel like it's a big thing. Like it's like that thing that to be known for hasn't even started. That's what it feels like for a lot of you Tauruses that are looking at this. Like you haven't even done your best project yet. Like it's time to start it right now, is what I'm getting. This Uranus and North Node in your sign, it's like, come on, do what you're here to do. Now, that's what I get for the Tauruses. Let's go on to the Geminis. Breathe deeply with me as I shuffle for the Geminis. Take a few deep breaths, clear out the funk in your life, clear out the debris in your head, Geminis. You can't help it. I know. Like even like the bottom, it's not the kind of cut tip is on the bottom. It's the twins here on the bottom. Like you guys are the twins. Got a lot going on up there in that head, especially with, even though Mercury's in Virgo, it's in its home sign, so it's kind of pinging off of you too. I've drawn the experiencing card for you guys. This is about going within. It's about getting grounded, grabbing a tree and hugging it. Go outside, go in nature. This is about like your own little silent retreat, going within, seeing the light, see the white of the lining in this robe. It's really about cloaking yourself, protecting yourself from what's going on in the world. Like you may need to duck and cover, and it may be too peoply out there for you right now this week. This is like refortify self week is what I'm getting with this card for Geminis. It's like you need to breathe deeply, maybe rest, meditate extra, chant, drum, like what fortifies you. I'm just really getting like the fire element is needed too, like burning candles, like just even, wearing red, wearing sort of burnt orange kind of colors. Like it feels like there's needing to like light an inner flame is what I'm feeling. Like the pilot light within needs to be lit. And it feels like this is about you with you. This is not about what anyone else thinks, getting approval, running it by anybody else. This is like getting clear within you about what it is you're supposed to be doing, where you're supposed to be putting your energies. This is really about grounding and trusting that you can just like, I love the people using God as go outside, darling. And that's what this card is feeling like. It's like, yeah, go outside, connect with the divine, get out of your head. If you can spend a time walking in the woods, walking on a trail this week, building something with wood, grounding out with wood, something, if there's a question about something, if a piece of furniture, it needs to have wood in it for you guys, that would probably always be the case, that having wood in place of metal can really help ground you. Even a piece of petrified wood might be really good for you, like the old wood, or even just bringing in some wood. Wood has really lovely, lovely energy. So that you're needing wood around you is what I'm getting to with the Gemini. So somehow manifest that for yourselves. Ground yourself this week. Go within. There is answers if you get quiet and still and listen, not to the mind, but to the higher self, to the heart. This is like he's looking down, right? He's looking towards his heart, like he's listening to what his feelings are telling him, which is harder for the Gemini. We were up there, blah, 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 batting things back and forth between the twins, to drop into your heart, find out what the message from the heart is. What is your higher self trying to tell you? There's some deep level messages. It's the experiencing card. So you're experiencing something profound, internal. People around you might not notice it. Like this is something profound within you. And it may be something you don't even want to tell anybody else. It's something you want to keep to yourself or you want to journal about. That I feel really lovely insights coming from within, and just really huge benefits from grounding yourself with wood and using the fire element. Like I said, if you're outside somewhere where it's safe to do a fire, or in a chimenea, it's not the time of year to burn a fire, but candles count. Or even watching flames on a YouTube video. Like, there's something about the fire element that's important. Candle does the trick in a easy way. Um, but even meditating, staring into a candle, I feel like could bring you some messages this week, Geminis. All right, we'll move to the Cancers. I invite you to breathe deeply as I'm shuffling the cards for the Cancers. Clearing out any debris you're having to deal with in that cool, cruel, cold world out there. You soft little Cancers. And it feels like, oh, it's been extra harsh out there for everyone. And sensitive little Cancers probably have had some of the hardest go of it. I've got the sharing card. So this is the card of the mother, the healer, someone who's giving someone else a gift. This woman is like, she's got everything she needs, right? She's got the jewels here, the crown of gold, and she's got a golden platter here, gold on her wrist, gold on her necklace. So she's wealthy. She's giving. She's got gifts. She's got fruit. She's bringing the light here, the candle, bearing some light. So this could be you shining the light for someone else this week, or someone who has this sort of mother goddess earth energy is being there for you this week. So it could be both. You could have both things going on. You're really being there for others. You're there for your children, maybe as a mother, or your mother may be there for you. Or maybe that's not the case. You're single and you don't even talk to your mom and don't have kids. There's some sort of nurturing goddess mother energy that's coming to you. So just look out for sort of the goddess to show up in your life, is what this feels like. This feels like goddess in life, that flesh, not just spirit guides that can come in with a divine presence that can be very palatable and really lovely as well. But this feels like live person coming in with something tangible to offer you, gifts, maybe literal food, maybe symbolic insight. But this is like offering, like she's coming with offering gifts. So I feel like she's a messenger bringing you gifts. And that for some of you, you're the messenger. You're bringing gifts. You may literally be taking someone a gift, or you may literally be taking someone food, or making food for others. So, I mean, some of you are mothers that are like just the goddess, and your children may not be able to appreciate you, and you just have to enjoy what you're giving them for nurturing and support. And this to me is, she's got everything she needs. That's the message that I feel like is coming through for the Cancers. You've got everything you need. Moving into the future, you will have everything you need. This woman is abundantly blessed. She's got all her needs met. She has so much, and she has offerings for others, right? So this is, to me, what's coming in for you, but it's also symbolic of you in the future. You've got all your needs met. You're donned up in your gold, and you've got plenty to offer others. So this is like feel like it's a future vision for some of you Cancers that are watching, to know that you're making it through the hard times, and you're moving into better times where you have some breathing room and some things to offer others, and that you have something to celebrate too, because often we celebrate with food too. So it's like, yay, here's like, all right, here's the celebration for the win, whatever the win is for you in your life. It feels like this is a win coming, and it's definitely female energy coming in. Your female friends, maybe your sister, could be your mother. I think for most people it's more symbolic than literal, but at any rate, it feels really lovely to receive guidance, receive benefits, receive like acknowledgement from the universe in some way. Like, notice the subtle cues. To me, they can put together big screaming messages this week, and that there's going to be somebody coming in a physical form that you go, oh, okay, in some way in your life, bringing a message is what I feel like for the Cancers. The message is coming from a woman, through a woman. It may not be about a woman, but it's coming. The message is coming. It's a female messenger, is what I get for the Cancers. Okay. Next, we have Leos. All right. I want to invite you to breathe deeply as I'm shuffling for the Leos. Okay, we've got the guilt card. This may not always be guilt. Sometimes it's internal guilt, like you feel like you've done something to yourself. There may be someone else that you feel guilty about. More often than not, it's not even about the emotion guilt with this card. It's about this picture of pulling your frigging hair out. Like, like you just can't reconcile something. Like something is not computing in your brain. You want to scream and shout. Like this could be watching too much of the TV and the news and all the like the media stuff, just like "Bah!" This could be someone giving you a hard time and makes you want to pull your hair out. You're at your wits end with someone else in your life. um Again, you may be feeling bad about what you're doing to yourself. You know you need to put down the alcohol or the cigarettes or the sugar or the porn or whatever it is that you're doing too much of. You know it's not good for you, and you're not doing it, so you feel bad. You're beating yourself up. You're caught in a loop. Some of you, this is going on for some of you, caught in a negative loop of self-destruction, feeling bad about it, continuing to self-destruct, continue to do bad about it. So I want to invite you to look here above this scene. We have the tops of a mountaintop and beautiful purple energy here in the horizon, which is like higher perspective energy and flowers and a new perspective. Like this is about changing your perspective, looking at the positive, looking at what you can be grateful for. What can you feel good about what you've done? Like, yeah, we all have stuff that we could have, should have, would have done differently, but what can you do about it right now? Continuing to beat yourself up over something is not helpful at all. Loving yourself into change and transformation is the best way to get yourself to fundamentally change something you need to shift. Love yourself into it instead of telling yourself you need to, you should. It's like, I really want to let go of cigarettes. I really want to have a healthy diet. I really want to move my body every day. I really want to meditate every day. Not I need to, I should. You tell yourself I need to, I should. The Leo is a rebel. Leo go, F that. I want to do what I want to do. Right. So there's a battle within, I feel like, going on with the Leos. And like something that I feel like you need to say out loud. The mouth here is open, but it feels like this is one of these silent screams. Like, what is it that you need to get out and talk about? Maybe you need to find a therapist or find a friend and get something out that you're chewing on and wrestling around and can't get out of your head. Maybe you need to write it out, speak it into a voice recorder to speak it out. Like, it feels like something needs to be said, but not screamed, but this is built up so much that if you don't get it out somehow, it's going to be coming out as screaming and raging or accidents because you're not dealing with the energy. A lot of times we get into accidents, we're just out of whack with ourselves, right? So and this could be other, there's lots of different hands here, so it feels like other people may even be trying to make you feel guilty or trying to, okay, well, you can apologize, you can make amends, and beyond that, you can't do anything. So you can't control, you could be doing everything perfect and people can be hating on you. You don't have any control over that. So you only have control over this, right? And so this is about what can you do to make yourself feel better and stop the inner beating yourself up that I feel is going on here with the Leos. Some of you are really just on your own case or struggling over something. Okay. Breathe deeply and then ask for guidance for this. Like, it feels like there's a lot of different things. It's the money, it's the finances, it's my health, it's the politics of the world out there, it's the, crime, it's all these things. You could focus on all these things that make you go cray cray, and it's not going to help you at all. What brings you peace of mind? What brings you joy? What makes you feel clear and wise and patient and peaceful? That's the energy you need to inject into your life to shift this energetic out. Like, that's where meditation, prayer, singing, music that lifts your spirits. Like, what can you do to lift your spirits, change your perspective, wash out this old stuff, set a clear intention for a new trajectory? Because you're creating the future out of the now. And if you're caught in this whirlwind of crap, you're creating a whirlwind of crap for your future, right? You've got to clear out the debris, come to a place of just being able to witness and disconnect from it, observe it, pull out of your brain, pull out of your body, look at it from a higher perspective. Breathe. This is meditation. This is prayer. It may be getting healing work, asking people for prayer, telling, like, look, I'm really going through a hard time. I could really use you praying for me to be able to sort this stuff through. You don't even have to tell people what it is. Like, I'm really going through some stuff right now. Could you pray for me to get clear? Could you pray for me? Whatever it is, like, ask for specific prayer from others. If you feel like you can't go to prayer yourself, like, that can lift you up. I just feel like Leos need to be lifted up out of some gunk this week and dust it off and made to your wonderful self. I mean, for some of you, it's your birthday, so we want to be happy and joyful and enjoy that you were born on this planet and what you have to offer the world. So getting caught up into your worst flaws and the things that you could have, should have, would have done differently, not helpful. Okay. All right. That's all I have to say. Go on to the Virgos. I want to invite you to breathe deeply with me as I shuffle for the Virgos, clearing out old debris, open to whatever message is coming in for the Virgos. Virgos with Mercury in your sign. Some of you have gotten some great insights and ideas. Some of you have been spending too much time batting ideas around. I've got the flowering card. This would go with the abundance of beautiful ideas. Flowering, self-explanatory, blooming, blossoming, things coming to fruition. This is a good time, good week to celebrate, week to rest, week to be on vacation, week to have a party, week to enjoy your female friends. This is the goddess energy, the goddess in full bloom here. So this is, and even if you are a male Virgo, there's still this beautiful divine feminine beauty flowing into your life. Like, do you have the capacity to receive from the divine feminine beauty of all kinds, right? Healing. She's in this green dress. This is like the physical body healing. Flowers in her hair, like she has not a care. These rainbow bangles on. She's just like connected to everyone, right? All her chakras are lined up and clear. She's sitting on a beautiful lotus flower here. This is the lotus represents the law of cause and effect. So it's like when you put the cause out there, the effect is an emotion. She's in there receiving the effects of causes. So you may be receiving benefits from things that you did a long time ago. They may be coming back to fruition for you right now. There's also this sort of water energy underneath. So I'm also getting like soaking in the tub, swimming, getting in the hot tub, maybe going, if you can be around an ocean wave or, river water or something. There's like a big pull to water I get to for the Virgos. And I'm also getting like her hands are in these mudras too. So there may be some like yoga or meditating you're doing with specific mudras, but I almost get one of these is almost like snapping your hands. Okay. And the universe is bringing in, like you would snap for a servant or whatever, like the universe is coming in. Like what you demand, what you wish is coming in is also what I'm getting. Like this is a a week to receive benefits is what I'm getting with this card, and that have a blooming and blossoming, having a good week, having things flow nicely this week, having beautiful exchanges with other people this week, having healing going on. This feels like a really lovely week for the Virgos. Now we'll go to the Libras. I invite you to breathe deeply with me as I shuffle for the Libras. See what the Libras need to know this week. The letting go card. So this is something you are releasing. It can be releasing intangibles like fear and worry and doubt. It could be releasing a relationship that you know is not right for you, or a job you say no to, or it could be just some sadness, some tears coming out. This could be like, okay, just a release, just in like letting some feelings out. Some old sadness might bubble up, or some life changes, things could make you tear up. Even positive changes where something, you're letting something go, something is transitioning, something is moving away, you're letting go of someone, something, a pattern, a person, a situation. You're turning it over. Letting go is about releasing it, turning it over to higher power. Like, I'm willing to release this, I'm willing to let this go. If it's not serving me, it's okay for this to be taken from me, kind of energy. And just being really peaceful. There's a beautiful just ring here formed where these like teardrops or dewdrops are falling in there, right? There's all this sparkling light with the release, right? It sets something else in motion, sets another cause. Like, there's something about releasing, shedding a tear, letting something go, that actually makes space for something new in a really beautiful way. There's like a new creation, a new reverberation. I'm also getting like breath work, like letting your breath go, like breathing deeply and often, like letting go of any stress through your breath, through tears. There's also these plants that are prominent. So there actually may be a literal like wanting to work with plants, wanting to buy yourself or someone else a plant, potted plants. Maybe you're working in a garden too. So there could be some literal green energy. I mean, this is the lily pad coming up out of the muddy swamp too. The lotus flower isn't in this picture. There is interesting heart-shaped moon reflection over here in this picture too. So there, it just feels like letting go of things that may have blocked the heart. Um, and you may have beautiful love in your life. This is maybe even just like a letting go of where you protected yourself as a child, and you're being able to like drop deeper and letting some self-protection go. Um, it feels very beautiful and peaceful. Like, this is not a traumatic image. This is like just light little, it's not like boo hoo hoo hoo. This is like letting something go, releasing it, enjoying the flow here, enjoying the new thing that's created with the release, like giving something to someone else. You could be going through and like giving things to Goodwill, giving things you don't need to friends, and like that can feel good too. That can be a letting go process that some Libras are doing this week, just passing things along. I'm going to let go of maybe even something you love, and you're like, I'm going to let this go. I'm going to let my worries go. I'm going to let my fears go. I'm going to let this old situation go. I'm going to let this person go. There's like some this clear pond background energy, though. There's places for reflection is what I'm getting. Like, there's self-reflection, like insights, if just sort of getting still and letting things come, not trying to overanalyze or figure something out, but getting calm, just going into the quiet and being still, which is what some people do with meditation, just to try to get still inside. There's some beauty and depth, and just like like the deep sigh of just releasing something that's over. So that's what I get for the Libras. All right, we move to the Scorpios. I invite you to breathe deeply with me as I shuffle for the Scorpios. All right. I've got the morality card. This is the great shutdown, the great close down. This card can come up when you're getting a big no from the universe, when there's a block, when you feel stuck. This can literally mean jail or confinement of some sort, having to deal with judges and judgments and stuff like that. This card will often come up with clients who have been sexually abused in their past, and it can leave lingering issues that show up in their relationships, in intimacy. That there's the most traumatic events are sexual abuse as children, as I see it, because most clients I know who've suffered from sexual abuse as children or even as a young adult, um, you don't get over it. You can heal it. You never forget it. It changes who you are. So this can be like some old memories about those kind of events surfacing this week too. And like, oh, they're not pleasant. But if they're in there, it's important to acknowledge it, recognize it, and let it clear. This can also show up in relationships where people aren't having sex. There's some like frigidity, or that you just don't want to be intimate with someone, like self-protection, like I don't want to go out with them. Like I don't want to sleep with them. No, or feeling that someone is rejecting you energetically. This could come in where you're like, this isn't, I'm getting a no here. But there's a reason there's a block. I mean, maybe, you're wanting to be intimate with someone and you're still legally married and you're wanting that to shift. And that's the no here. Or it's just not the quite right time yet to go into intimacy in the relationship. So you're trying to hold off and not to have sex. That could also be a scenario that this could be showing up as. So you may be encountering someone else. Someone else may reveal to you that they've been sexually abused or raped or something. But this issue is intensive. I'm not going to lie. So it can come up, like I said, for you personally, something you'd rather not deal with, or something that you're like, feel like has you kind of locked down, shut down, repressed. But the good news with this card is that there's acknowledgement once you see it. It doesn't have to keep blocking you. It doesn't have to keep creating the clouds that cloud all your experiences. You don't have to feel so shut down and self-protected, right? You can move into a safe space. Like if the person is right for you, you would feel safe being intimate with them. If you don't feel safe or something doesn't feel right intimately, it's not right. It just isn't. Like for what, whatever is something's being triggered within you, it's your signals, your inner signals giving you the no, this isn't working for you, right? So a lot of people override their inner signals of the no, and the no may just be, maybe it feels fine physically, but maybe it's just not right karmically. That could be also a scenario that could come up with this card, the morality card. The morality is like, it can also be feeling like, am I keeping my own moral standards up? Morality card can be about that too. So it could often be something you don't want to talk about. This person is very closed lipped, looks like an old nun face, doesn't it? Like something, maybe been a hard life and stuck down on it. But the good news is this is not going to be, this is just something that's coming up. And with the South Node in Scorpio right now, like it's dredging up the deep psychic stuff, the deep stuff that's deeply buried within us. And so, as Scorpios with the South Node in Scorpios, y'all don't get a break. Y'all have, like, your underbelly is being shown to you. Like South Node moved into Scorpio in January and will continue to be moving through Scorpio till next summer. So you have another whole year of this transit. So, if you're not in therapy already or writing in a journal already, you probably will be by the end of this next year. Just are talking over the stuff that's coming up with your deep close friends at the very least. Like there's stuff to unpack here, is what I'm getting for the Scorpios. Okay. Sagittarius. I invite you to breathe deeply with me, Sagittarius, sun, moons, and risings, or stelliums. While I'm shuffling, clearing out whatever's gone down before, embracing a new message. See what's going on in Sag world. The guidance card. This is a lovely card, one of my favorites, because I believe everyone is psychic. We all have intuition inside. We all have an inner guidance system. We all have a guidance team, guides around us, and our own higher self. That if we hook into it, is our guidance modus operandi. So um, the way I look at it, the higher self is the soul, the part of ourself that continues on after the ego, then the body dies. Like the part of our soul that continues on after death and goes into another body in another lifetime. That's our soul, our higher self, our divine self. And the intuition is the voice of that self. The ego, the mind, is what we've been programmed, what we've taught, what we've learned every in this lifetime, right? And our brains can be super smart, filled, it's like little computers, filled with information, right? Our higher self, our intuition, is tapped into a matrix of divine infinite knowledge. Our logical, rational mind may or may not know some of this knowledge, right? Like chances are knows a lot, also doesn't know a lot, right? So when we tap into the divine matrix, we're opening up to more than we know. Sagittarius kind of like to know it all, can be told they know it all. Open mouth, insert foot. Any of you Sagittarius ever be accused of that kind of energy? Because you like to blurt. Sagittarius love to search for truth, love to learn on their own and discover and travel and learn about all kinds of new things. So the mind is king, and learning and amassing knowledge is great, stimulating. But the higher self is amassing knowledge on a different level. And so this is about following the guidance of that higher self, not what's logical and rational, what makes sense. It's about what you're feeling guided to do. And guidance comes from your gut, your feelings, shows up differently for everyone. Some people are visual, they actually see visions, they can see their spirit guides, they can see auras around people. Other people can feel things in their body, they can feel pulled to something, or a big no, a shutdown. They can feel if someone they just meet, oh, they feel open, I can trust this person, or like, whoa, I can't trust that person, or that's a no. Like some people, you can just feel it like that, like a yes, no kind of, like an open, shut energy, right? Some people are can feel through objects that they touch. They may not feel it energetically that which they touch someone or touch an object that someone has held, or be in a place where someone's been. They can get information that way. Information comes in lots of ways, right? So the important thing is to pay attention to how does your psychic information come in for you. Does it come in your dreams? Do you get little promptings? Do you have someone that comes across your mind over and over and over again, and then they text confirmation that was that your mind they were on, or was it on your psychic radar that they were on? And being able to discern the difference. The guidance system comes with a flow, and wouldn't you love to? And isn't it wonderful when, and isn't it ideal when, like, there's a beautiful flow, and a like, it's kind of like a divine mother trying to lovingly point you in the right direction, is our guidance to. Whereas our logical mind, you need to, you should, you have to. And our inner teenager can go, F that, I don't want to do that, and can rebel against it. And then you're at a tug of war and you're not following guidance. When it is for your highest self and your highest path, the logical mind, like a co-pilot, can get behind it and go, oh, okay, well, that makes sense. But some things that make perfect logical, rational sense, and you go off towards it, if it doesn't feel right in your gut, can be pulling you off track, right? So this is about listen to your intuition, not the things that's pulling you off track here in your environment here. Listen to the guidance system, how you feel drawn, what feels like the next right step. I always suggest that people ask themselves every morning, what today do I feel guided to do? What do I feel like my higher self wants me to do today? What do I love doing, and can I do it today? What brings me joy, and can I do it today? Right? These are ways you can tap into what your guidance is suggesting. But with the guidance card showing up, it's showing up So pay attention. And it's there to show you how it's operating this week, is what this card was saying. So pay attention to how guidance shows up for you this week, because I think it'll be like revelatory, not in terms of not just the information you might get through guidance, but how you're getting the information in the first place, right? That's what I get for the Sages. We'll move on to the Capricorns. Invite you to breathe deeply with me as I'm shuffling for the Capricorns, taking deep breath in and out. Oh, the cards don't want to shuffle. Interesting. Any stubbornness going on with the Capricorns this week? Not wanting to do something you're supposed to do, maybe? All right, I've drawn the turning in card. This is one of my psychic cards. This is the person being psychic, getting all this different information, right? She's getting some funky information, people that are like in fear and all this other, picking up on emotions of other people that are in fear, doubt, like all this. But there's also this beautiful, clear blue energy that's coming from divine. It's clear, it's it's a direct download from spirit that's tranquil. She's focusing on the tranquil waters, the divine, the holy waters, not all the debris, all the stuff that's going on in the world. So it's definitely a call to like meditate, connect with your higher self, grab a vision of peace. Don't get too much plugged into drama that you may be picking up empathically, that you may be just hearing or seeing out in the media world or the world around you. This is about like, get still. You have the power and control to send peace out onto the planet by you getting peaceful internally. If this is going on internally within you, then you're creating to that problem. Whereas if you can get still and peaceful internally, then you send that vision, that energetic out in a powerful way out into the world. And so this is about you realizing what you need to sustain yourself and to how to be tranquil no matter what's going down in the world around you, turning in, going within, going on retreat, saying no to social invitations. Maybe you just like, I just want to hang with me right now. I need to like turn off the TV, get off the phone, and just listen to my own inner downloads right now. That's what it feels like is going on for the Capricorns. Like, commune with you and your own higher self and your own inner messages. This is one of my psychic cards. So if you're quiet, you can receive strong psychic signals, messages from other people that you do need to receive. That's important for you to pick up on, that's going on with somebody. Um, Messages, channeled messages for you, for whatever's going on in your life that you need, insights that you need to see. This card can bring those channeled messages to you directly about what you need to see, what you need to know, where you're supposed to be going, what your higher self wants you to be doing. Turning in within, listening to your own psychic voice, letting that guide you. And tapping into these waters here, like just being open and receptive to peace, no matter what it looks like out there in the world. Like, this is bringing peace onto the planet, peace within you. Can't control anything that anyone outside of you are doing. Sometimes it's hard enough to control what you're doing. Calming the internal, like breathing deeply, calming the emotional body, calming the mind down, like getting still. Like, you might want to listen to some guided meditations this week, listening to like some beautiful sound of bubbling waters or rain or whatever sound of the environment that would be pleasant and peaceful to you. Bells, chimes. I'm getting a lot of sound, even music putting on that feels spiritually uplifting or makes you feel connected to the divine, to your own higher self. These are all the things I'm picking up on for the Capricorns for this week. All right, Aquarians, and I invite you to breathe deeply with me as I'm shuffling for the Aquarians. drawn the playfulness card. This is about tapping into joy, even though you may have to fake it till you make it. Like this clown face on him is like, okay. The body is definitely looking like it's an ecstatic joy, right? The face is painted. So sometimes you have to act as if, like, do you go through the motions and then the joy comes like, okay, I'll go to the comic stand up night, or I'll go to the open mic, or I'll go watch the comedy with you. Like, "Wah, wah, wah," I don't really feel like it. But there's something that if you follow how you feel guided to be, you can have your spirits uplifted and it can help change things. So sometimes kind of forcing yourself to go through something fun that you're going, I don't, this does not feel fun. And just surrendering to the moment, surrendering to your inner child. This is about being playful, about being joyful, doing music, dancing, doing something creative. Like the sun is in Leo right now, so it is about the creative expression, laughter, joy. Who lights your spirit up? I also get these pinpoints of light as almost like little sprite spirit guides. Like trust that there's like helpers, spiritual helpers that are there to help you, lift you up, brighten your way, help show the way, be there to bring in what you're needing. Um, but it just feels like, oh, lighten up, enjoy, get playful. What does your inner child want to do? Like it wouldn't color, adult coloring book might fit the bill, like finger paint, like it doesn't, it can be sloppy and messy, make a mud pie. Like it feels like just taking the rules off and just playing, like dancing in the rain. If it rains, get out there and enjoy it. We haven't been experiencing much rain around here, so um, I could totally see myself dancing in the rain if it started pouring out of celebration. So I'm drawn to these straps here, the overalls here. It's like got the see-through outfit on, but this overalls are strapped. I feel like it's like an overhaul that you're doing. Like I'm getting there's a play on the word overalls, that there's a spiritual overhaul that you're doing, an overlay, like whatever's going on in the 3D matrix of your life, the 3D realm of your world, there's like way to look at it spiritually, psychically, right? Too. It's like, okay, there's a 3D what you're going through. If you were one of your higher self angel guides looking down, how would you be viewing what's going on in your life right now? Like, what kind of higher perspective could you try to look at your own life with right now? Is also what I'm getting for the Aquarians. Like, lighten up, brighten up, look at yourself from like you're, a goddess, a spirit guide, a fairy godmother. What would they look at your life as, right? Your angels, what would they look at your life? What's going on right now? What would they want to bring in? Like, be open to the spirit realm, bringing in love, bringing in joy, bringing in compassion, bringing in the resources that you're needing, and light and so that you can lighten up and enjoy instead of feeling so heavy, so laden down. Because it feels like you've been going through a hard time and it doesn't feel like you want to play and have time. Like you're tired is what I'm getting. A lot of you Aquarians are tired. I'm too tired to go have fun. Like, okay, so what little thing could you do close to home that would bring you joy, right? Like just be open to expanding your capacity, or what you think is your capacity this week, and having fun and laughing, being playful, enjoying your life. And again, you may have to fake it till you make it. If you put yourself in the motion of doing it, you could actually find that you enjoy it. That's what I get for the Aquarians. All right. Let me go to the Pisces. I invite you, Pisces, to breathe deeply with me as I'm shuffling for the Pisces. And we see what the Pisces need to know for this week. Okay, I got the guilt card coming up. This came up once before. I'm not remembering what sign it came up for. But this card can mean guilt. It means it could be you're chewing over something you've done that you feel bad about. You can be feeling guilt about how you're treating yourself, what you're doing to you. That could be creating guilt. It could have nothing to do with guilt. and just you're pulling your hair, you're wrestling around with something, you can't get out of your head about something. It's intensive, whatever it is. It's emotionally and mentally intensive, this card, no doubt. There's something difficult that you're having to move through this week that makes you want to scream. It almost feels like, other people, you may feel picked on by other people, or energetically, even if they're not physically picking on you or physically getting obstacles, you can maybe even psychically feel that people are bad mouthing you or wanting to take a bite out of you, or just like wolves at the door kind of feeling. Um, if you're something you're doing that's self-destructive, it's something that's been coming up again and again and again, and it feels like there's a beating yourself up about it. Okay, so I'm getting that it's super important to shift your perspective. Okay, up here at the top, we have a completely different scenario from down here, right? We've got beautiful flowers. There's a lovely purple horizon back here. There's a whole different perspective. If you look, it almost looks like closed eyes right here, right? Like if you close your eyes and look from a different perspective, you can see things from a new view, from a higher perspective, from a different look at yourself, with compassion, with grace. If you're beating yourself up, and this is a totally different energy here, so you can have this different perspective of like, okay, what can I learn from this? How can I do things differently? What do I need to do today to shift this negative, heavy, dark feeling that I'm experiencing? What can I do to verbalize what I need to say without screaming? Do I need to talk to a therapist? Do I need to talk to a dear friend? Do I need to journal something out? Do I need to record it? Do I need to write a song? Do I need to sing? Do I need to go out into the woods and scream where it's okay to scream? Like, there's some clearing energy that needs to happen. This beating up on yourself, chewing things over, enough of that. Breath work, just focusing on your breathing for a matter of even 5 minutes, can completely shift this energy. If you go back to obsessing, redirect your mind. This is about mastering your mind, to redirecting, putting your mind, your attention, your feeling body on the positive, not the negative. You can shift this. You don't have to stay stuck in this dark loop. You can clear it out. You can confess your sins. You can make amends to someone. If you are truly feeling guilty that's for something you've done, you can take action. You can write a letter. You can keep it to yourself if it's not appropriate to share with someone. Like maybe you've offended someone who's died, and you've done something to someone who's not in your life anymore. They've died, or they're just not around anymore, and you can't find them, or you can't see them, or whatever, and you can't do anything to make it better, make it right, right? And that kind of a scenario, you could offer prayer up to them for their soul, wherever their soul is, and apologize to their soul in a deep, deep level. And then let yourself off the hook. Let it go, because you can't change it. Whatever has gone down 2 seconds ago is history. Not to mention 2 days ago, 2 weeks ago, 2 years ago, 2 decades ago, 2 lifetimes ago. If it's in the past, you can't change it. You have the point of power in this present moment to change your future. So gather all your higher juju, tap into your higher self, the love of the divine has for you. Tap into that and take that moving forward this week. Tap into divine compassion, divine love, divine grace for your life. And that's what I get for the Pisces and what I get for all 12 signs. Thank you so much for your long attention. If you've watched this whole thing, have a great week. Peace.